So I'm here with Micaiah. Hi, hop on in.
Hey, y'all.
Okay, so this is how we're going to start doing some notes. Oh, here's Trey also. This is how we're going to start doing some notes. You all just received this packet. Okay. So go ahead and write your name on the packet. By now I should see everyone writing. The front page is just talking about like how we solve system equations. So if you remember, we graph two lines, we find the point, and then that's your answer. If there's 1 point answer, then you just have one answer. If the lines are parallel and never touch, then there's no answer. And then if the lines are touching for forever and ever, then there's infinite. So go ahead and look over that first page. I'm kind of doing the same thing. I put some hints at the bottom. It says, remember y equals mx plus b, and then m is slope, b is y-intercept. So if you see that at the bottom there, that's just a reminder. Hopefully you know that by now. I'd be a little worried if you didn't. All right, so go ahead and flip. Okay, so I'm going to lead you through the first couple problems. If you notice, we have y equals negative 5/3 x plus 3, where 5/3, negative 5/3 is your slope, and 3 is your y-intercept. So if you remember, we can't graph the 5/3 yet. We need that 3. That plus 3 right here. So we're talking about this equation right here. If you remember, y equals mx plus b. So your m, negative 5/3, your b, positive 3, we're going to put a point on our y-axis at 3. Then if your slope is negative 5/3, that means we're not going to go up. We can't count up 5. We're going to run off our graph. So instead, we have to go down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and right 3, 1, 2, 3. Again, if your slope is negative, you can't go up. You have to go down. And it looks like we don't have any more room in our graph, so that's actually our line. We're going to connect the points connect them, and we're good. So I'm going to make sure I know which two spots I have points at. All right, so you've done your first line. Oh, I forgot my other arrow. Your next line, y equals 1/3 x minus 3. So your b here is minus 3, which means on the y-axis, we have to start down at -3. All right. Your slope, your m, is 1/3, and it's positive. So we have to go up 1, right 3. So up 1, right 1, 2, 3. If you'll notice, I'm using those little hopping symbols. Oh, whoops. Hopping symbols to show that that is where I'm counting. So I went up 1, right 3 by counting the squares. And if you notice, I have an intersection point right here. It intersects at the point 3, -2. And that's your answer. If you notice, these lines only touch once. So if you were asked how many solutions there are, there's only one solution, and it's the point 3, -2. All right, so let's do number 2. Same thing, it's going to get very repetitive. So we have the equation y equals 4x plus 3, where your slope is 4, your y-intercept is 3. So we're going to start up on the y-axis at 3. So I'm going to do this one in red. If your slope is 4, it's positive 4, so we would start at that point and go up 4. But if you notice, if I start to count up 4, 1, 2, I'm going to fall off my graph. So if we were supposed to go up 4, and we always move to the right, 1, and we are about to fall off our graph, that means we have to put our slope in reverse. I'm putting it in reverse. That changes every direction. So now instead of up, we go down. Instead of right, we go left. So I'm going to start at my point and go down 4, left 1. So now I have my 2 points. And actually, I can keep that going. I can keep going down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and left 1. It looks like that's all the points I can make. I'm going to connect my dots. Okay. The next one, I'm going to do in blue. We have y equals -x minus 2. And we don't see a slope, but we do see an x. Y-intercept of -2, so that's pretty easy. I know to start at -2 on the y-axis. Then, if it's a -x, usually if we just see x, we default to a slope of 1. If we see -x, that means our slope is -1. So m equals -1 for that. Which means instead of going up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1, we have to go down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1. Down 1, right 1. Okay. And then you can continue it all the way across your graph. Make your line, your nice arrows, and you're good. So if you notice this point, -1, -1, that is your solution. And again, the only way you are going to be successful in this unit is if you know how to do slope, if you can point out your slope and y-intercept, and if you can graph a line. Those are all things that we learned in little pieces, so that in this unit, we can just put it all together, and when we graph 2 lines at once, we find that they can actually hit each other at a certain point. So let's go ahead. We're going to move on to number 3. I'm going to do 3 and 4, and then if you notice, that is the full page there, and you'll flip your packet, and you have to complete that next one. So I'm going to do 2 more, and then you should probably pause this video and work on the next 4. All right, so number 3. We've got y equals -1/2 x minus 1. So if it's -1/2, instead of going up 1, right 2, we have to go down 1, right 2. So y equals mx plus b. Our b is -1, so we're going to start down at -1. Our slope, -1/2, down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2. And then we run out of room there. But we can actually track backwards and go up 1, left 2, up 1, left 2, up 1, left 2, up 1, left 2, all the way across, because your line should go all the way across your graph, or else you're not getting all your points that you could possibly hit. All right, next one. You have a b, a y-intercept of -4, and then your slope is positive 1/4. So we're going to go up 1, right 4. And connect. So this process, if you do it correctly and you're precise about how many squares you're hopping and what direction you're going, you actually get an answer pretty quickly. You see, that didn't take very long. My answer is 4, -3. So that didn't take very long. Okay, number 4. This one looks weird. So when we think of y equals mx plus b, and you don't even see an x, you just see y equals -1. Well, that means there must be a point on the y-axis at -1, right? And then it doesn't tell you a slope. There's no x, there's no n. It's just not there. So if nothing is there, we say, okay, what would have had to have been multiplied? Y equals something x minus 1. What would we have had to multiply by x to have it just disappear, to obliterate it? Well, we've talked about this, and that means that it's being multiplied by 0. Because when you multiply something by 0, that just kind of wipes it out. And all that's left is a -1. When you have a slope of 0, that means you can't go up or down. You can't. Okay, it doesn't tell you to go up or down. So that's actually just a flat line. Nothing is happening. It is a completely flat line. All right, so whenever you see that y equals, and it's just a number, that just gives you your y-intercept, and then nothing else is happening. It's just a flat line. The next one is pretty simple. You've got y equals 4. So you start at 4, or y equals -5/2 x plus 4. So you go up to 4, positive 4, and then you go down 5, and then right 2. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pause our recording here. Okay, we are back. Sorry, someone just walked into my room. All right, so we just did problems 1 through 4, and hopefully that's enough for you to be able to do the next 4. Let's see. Yeah, so I have problems 1 through 4 on this page. When you flip your packet, so you are on the next page, problems 5 through 8, you need to do on your own because there's nothing crazy there. I've taught it all. You will be able to do that. So once you finish those, flip to the page that looks like this. So problem number 1. We see, if I write y equals mx plus b, we have a slope of -3, a y-intercept of -3. So on the y-axis, I'm going to put my y-intercept, -3. Then, if our slope says we go down 3, 1, 2, we're going to fall off our graph, all right? So already we're seeing that we're going to have to put our slope in reverse, which means if we were going to go up 3 and right 1, and you're going to go in reverse, then that's going to change. you need to now go in reverse and go down 3, left 1. Or no, sorry, I'm all backwards. Hopefully you just caught that because I just caught it. The negative here says we're going down 3, right 1. By putting it in reverse, okay, please stay with me. Negative 3 means we go down. When you go in reverse, that means now you are going up 3 and left 1. Sorry for that mix-up. If your slope is negative, your instinct should be to go down and to the right. If you do not have enough room, you need to go up and to the left. So from this point, we are going to count 1, 2, 3, over 1. Okay? So up 3, left 1, up 3, left 1. I think I can keep going. Up 3, left 1. And that's about it. So I'm going to connect those dots. Make my arrows. If your lines do not have arrows, then that is not a line. You need to have those arrows. All right, let's start with the next one. We have got a y-intercept of 4. So starting up here at 4. Then we have a slope of positive 4, which means we would have to go up 4, right 1. And we do not have room for that. Again, we're going to go down and to the left. The only time you can go left is if your slope is in reverse. So again, instead of going up 4 and right 1, so because we don't have room for that, you are going to put your slope in reverse, and you're actually going to go down 4, and the only time that this is legal is if your slope is in reverse, you're going left 1. So down 4, left 1. And once you find that intersection, you can stop. I'm going to make sure I see it. And that is actually the point -1, 0 in your y, because you don't go up or down. It's right there on that x-axis. So -1, 0 is your point. Okay, so let's do number 2. I'm going to erase some of this. Okay. So we've got a slope of 1/2 and a y-intercept of 5. If my y-intercept is 5, I'm going to start up here at 5. And man, we are just never having room on this graph. We can't go up 1, right 2. Okay? Usually we'd be going up 1, right 2. So instead, we need, again, this is the red one, we need to put our slope in reverse because we can't go up. So we're going to go down 1, which switches the other directions to left 2. Down 1, left 2. Down 1, left 2. And that's it. That's all the room we've got. And the next one, y-intercept of -1, slope of -5/2. So we're going to go down to a -1. Then if your slope is -5/2, that means you have to go down 5, right 2. Down 5, right 2. Let's do it. Down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we are going to run out of room. So now, instead of down 5, right 2, we are going to go in reverse and go up 5, left 2. Up 5, left 2. And again, we have found our intersection point just right away. Right here. So our point is -2, +4, because it's up at 4. -2, +4. Once you find those intersection points, you're done. Okay? That's it. All right, so that's pretty much all I'm going to do for you. I think that if you have any questions at this point, go ahead. If you are in the classroom at the moment, you can ask. Okay, so once you finish doing all of the practice on this page, okay, once you finish all of this, When you flip, you are at the very last step, which is your mastery. So the top says Systems of Equations Mastery, and the first step is do what we've been doing for this entire video. Graph 3 of these, and then write your solution in this little spot. And that is, again, the point where they hit each other, where they intersect. Okay, so you have 3 of those here, and then some more at the bottom that look a little different from each other. Number 4, number 5, and that's it. And again, there's spots for your solution underneath, okay? Once you finish that front page, and again, this is a quiz, but it is open note. You can just work with your notes, work with what we've done so far, but do not work with each other. It is mastery. You are not allowed to ask questions and just use your notes, okay? So once you finish that front page, you are on to the very last page. All right, so here we are. And it says, decide whether the following points are solutions to these equations. Remember, plug in your x and your y, then solve. So A says, is the point 0, 4 a solution to these equations? Show your work. Basically, what you're going to do is you are going to plug in your points. So here you say, okay, 0, 4. My x is 0, my y is 4. So in that first problem, you're going to plug in your y, which is 4, and then you're going to do -2 times your x. Your x here is 0, so -2 times 0. And then you have to figure out, okay, when you solve that, do both sides of the equal sign match? And if you remember, since this is an open note quiz, I'm not going to do it for you because we have done this about 6 times in a packet of notes. And if you're not sure if you have those notes, check the folders because you might have put it in there. But we have done notes over them. You have it written out about 6 times. And so you are just going to check and plug in each of these points into the same 2 equations each time. And some of them might be solutions and some of them might not be. All right, so for number 7, you are given 3 different graphs and you have to tell me how many solutions each one has. So when we ask for a number of solutions, that means how many times do these lines intersect? A, look at it. How many times does these lines intersect? B, do those lines intersect? How many solutions? And you're going to circle down below how many you think that graph has. And that's your answer. Just which one did you circle? Lastly, in C, those are 2 lines, but they are right on top of each other. So every single point on those lines is a point of intersection. All right, so keep that in mind when answering that one. The bottom is just bonus. So that's up to you. Remember that color sheet we did, solve for y, that is the bonus. So go ahead and work on that. Again, that is a quiz. You cannot help each other. You can come to me if you have questions about the instructions, but I am done teaching systems of equations. From here on out, you need to complete this packet, complete the quiz, and the entire thing you will be turning in.